in, everybody. This should be the beginning of the live stream, and as far as I know, I should be live on both YouTube and Twitch, but just to be 100% sure of that, I'm actually going to open up Twitch on my end over here. Gonna make sure that I am indeed live over here, because sometimes it does take a little bit before it starts to catch up, and I have to do the same thing with YouTube as per usual too. So let me just go ahead and grab that. I'll say we can just move this tab over here, and let's see. So if I click on my own channel, okay, yeah, it does say that I am live. I'm going to refresh Twitch though. And yep, it also says that I'm live. Okay, the multi-streaming is indeed working. So with that said, Ian Sai, hello. Hello. I'm actually going to move straight over to the just chatting section so that everyone's messages can actually show up there. Because in the starting page, it's actually pretty tough to see them. And hopefully like this, everyone's messages should be read. Or at the very least should appear right here. Chaos says hi, hello. Thank you for jumping in. Huge fan, bro. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that quite a bit. And thanks for stopping by tonight's live stream. Tonight's live stream is essentially just going to be about kind of like a live review of the Razer Kiyo Pro. It's actually the very first webcam specifically that I review on this channel. And I would say that it does look pretty good. I mean, right now it looks overexposed, but that's actually my own fault because my key light is a bit too bright. Love your microphone reviews. Oh, well, thank you so much. There are definitely a lot more of them coming up soon. A lot more XLR bangers, which is going to be pretty cool, including my review of this microphone right here. This is the RE27ND. Hi, hello. Dang, the delay is huge. Yeah, I'm not too surprised because instead of restream this time, I'm actually using Streamlabs OBS to stream to both Twitch and YouTube. So like, that is going to be a thing, I suspect. So I do apologize for that, if anything. But either way, welcome all of you to tonight's live review. Let me actually see how things are on YouTube. Okay, cool. Okay, pretty much set there. And then here we are on Twitch as well. Though it looks like they're both certainly running at different speeds. I think that Twitch is actually a bit more optimized right now than YouTube, which is kind of funny. I'm really sorry. I had to go, man. See you soon. Oh, no worries. Thank you so much for stopping by either way, and I wish you a wonderful night. I appreciate it. Now I'm here. There you go. Now you should be getting the best streaming experience possible there. Yeah, like I am looking at my Twitch feed, and I'm also looking at my YouTube feed, and it just looks like the Twitch feed appears to be doing considerably better than the YouTube feed. Actually, me looking at the Twitch feed, it looks like 60 FPS, and then me looking at the YouTube feed, it looks more like 30, which is ugh. YouTube. Ah, well, thank you. The link in Discord is for YouTube, and I clicked on that. Oh, really? Interesting. It should have provided links to both. Dang, that I quack. What? YouTube is hella slow. No, yeah, for sure. YouTube is being insanely slow right now. I'm not exactly sure why. Dang, that is quick. Yep. You know, I haven't really had this kind of experience with YouTube in the past. I mean, like, some people have actually had, you know, like, pretty good stuff going on, but that was when I was streaming through Restream. Now, at this moment, I am using Streamlabs OBS. I kind of wanted to try it out. And so far so good, but there are going to be some latency differences that are definitely more noticeable here than what they were on Restream. Literally, I type and it appears on stream. Oh well. Yeah, then I suppose that you have joined the better side, the more optimized side of things. Thanks for hopping in though. I do very much appreciate it. And we actually just started here at 8 p.m. I think I started the stream at like 7:55 or so, but yeah, you guys cannot blame me for being too early. Or too late, I should say. Because I was here 5 minutes earlier. And you know what they say. On time is late, and early is on time. I've never heard anybody say that, actually. Well, I literally sit in front of the computer all day. It's rare that I miss the stream for better or worse. Oh, I see. I mean, that makes sense with, like schooling and everything probably taking place online for the majority of people at the moment. That's understandable. Okay, the Twitch notif just went off. Oh, wow. Wow. Jesus. Twitch. Yeah, you see, like, Twitch is super slow when it comes to notifications. Foolish Swami is indeed first, so shout out to him for being the first one on stream. I wanted to give him a very special thank you. And I kind of just want to make sure, can you guys hear the music just fine? Like, do you hear background music right now? Very first. Oh, I think he just beat you to it. Really, you don't hear any background music? Yeah, it's a vibe. Oh, okay, cool. So you hear it. Oh, I got the Twitch notification like a minute ago. I see. Oh, wait. Yes. It went quiet. Oh, okay, gotcha. It must have been just one of those moments where the song was ending and then like transitioning into a different one. Paulo, thank you for letting me know as well. Koi PKSAO. So you got that notification exactly at 8 then. So like, I am supposed to stream at 8, but still, like, if I go live at a different time, like just a few minutes before that, I would expect Twitch to send out that notification regardless. Luigi, yeah. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so Foolish Swami over here does have a habit of using up his points to make me sound like Luigi every single live stream. And luckily, I can actually pay attention to that since I had Twitch open on this side and YouTube open on this side. So, yeah. Oh shoot, you're in for some pain. Guess we just hit 3k points. Strongly recommend that you don't use it, actually. I hear that using points makes your never mind that. I heard that it just makes you a sadder person. Bloody Fedora says, hello tech, I'm dead inside today. It feels like every day, we are progressing towards that, Bloody Fedora. So what has you feeling dead inside tonight? It's usually tired and now it's just internal death. I am the Luigi. Foolish Swami just requested this one. So don't be surprised if you hear me sounding like Luigi. It is just what I do. Wah. Hey, what? I'm VIP. Oh, hey, what is VIP? So VIP at the moment is 150 points. I am going to bring that down though, because I feel like 150 points is a bit too much. Like 150 points, it would take somebody months after months after months of just watching it, every single one of my streams, and probably the entirety of it. Yeah, like it was just 150. I didn't know like how much was too much or how much was too little, so I kind of just left it at 150, but I do have to change that. Yeah, like you've been here for for quite a while, for sure. I might bring it down way lower to like maybe 50,000 or something like that, because I still think that 100k is a bit too much as well. Or I could make 100k even just like a higher tier. Oh, and by the way, I do still have to be the Luigi every now and then. It is my promise to Foolish Swami over here. Thank you so much for spending those points. I agree with the bloody. I'm going to go ahead and allow that comment. I don't know why it would go ahead and block that. Twitch, with your censorship, you do that too much. What wood is special for VAP? I mean, I don't know, maybe like Ultra VAP. I'm not sure. I have a lot of thinking to do on that subject, and that indeed has become apparent. Dang, my grammar and spelling is off today. I don't want to say that I've noticed, but I have noticed. Let me see. Let me get this camera to focus on me again. Okay. So this webcam, the reason why I'm streaming from this angle at all is because this is actually the Razer Kiyo Pro that I have up here. This is a $200 webcam. And I got it because I wanted to see if a $200 webcam would actually be worth it. And considering that Razer did make a gigantic webcam here, it does have a bigger sensor, which does allow for more flexibility overall. Wah! So, unfortunately, that's kind of what I'm stuck with for tonight. But this is indeed going to be a live review. And so far, what I have to say is that because there aren't many options out on the market right now, like especially if you're looking to like to just like upgrade to something of like decent quality, even the cameras that were cheaper that had like a clean HDMI output, unfortunately a lot of those have gone up, so it does become more difficult to recommend those. So essentially, this is like one of your best options, I would say. And it's not supposed to look this overexposed. I just have a very bright light on top of me here, so that's why it looks that way. Work, project, obnoxious mother, lockdown at weekends, lay brother, pressure to succeed, the traumas from the past invading my mind. I see. It's just a lot hitting you this week from what I can tell. And that's just the sum of it. The details are worse. I see. Well, I very much hope that things get a lot better for you. As, you know, it is unfortunate to have to be bothered by these feelings throughout the day. Koi PKSAO says, this is when mom says, we got Luigi at home. I guess so. I don't quite get that joke. Maybe it's just because I'm a bit of a boomer. I'm pretty old, in case you guys had no idea. And I just use my phone to record. Oh, okay. I mean, fair. Yeah, that works well too. The mic is really nice. Doesn't look nice, but sounds amazing. I actually really like the look of this microphone, but obviously, like, looks are going to be subjective. But obviously, I do like the sound even more. This is the RE27ND. You're like 20-something, right? 27? Well, no, I'm not that old. I'm 23. But you know, like in dog years, that's actually a lot more. So let's count it as just dog years for now. Frost says, hi Tech Summit. Hello there to you, Frost. Thanks for stopping by. Plus, I heard you want someone blocked. Sorry, I wasn't hearing. Who is it? Oh no, I didn't want anybody blocked. Sorry. It was just that like one comment I needed to allow, and it was just I agree with Bloody, and it's just because Bloody was written there, and for some reason they just like muted that comment automatically. Brand, Sweet Potato, thanks very much for stopping by after all of this time. Okay, so like, I need to take this opportunity to put Sweet Potato on blast and say that I've been abandoned. You know, Sweet Potato no longer attends my streams the way that she used to, and now I am unfortunately feeling pretty sad. It's been a pretty tough time, and I do blame Sweet Potato for that. What's wrong with being 27? Oh, you know, a variety of things. You're approaching 30. That's the issue with it. No. 27, even 30 is so young. Like, definitely young. I like more sleek microphones that just don't really stand out. Like the Shure SM7B or whatever that one microphone everyone uses is. You're definitely referring to the Shure SM7B. You see, I actually kind of think the opposite regarding the Shure SM7B, and that's actually because yes, like it does have a very sleek and modern design, I would say, and just like one that's not very over the top. It is a great microphone. I have it upstairs. It is the one that I use to record my YouTube videos, but I would say that so many people use the Shure SM7B that I can't help but to notice when somebody is using it. Like, even just from hearing somebody speaking, even if they don't have the microphone in frame, I'm like, yeah, they're using a Shure. I've just heard it so much that I actually finally got to that point. Yeah, the Shure is too expensive. I use a blue Snowball and it works fine. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Oh, no worries. Have a wonderful night, and thank you so much for stopping by in the first place, of course. Let me see. So people can't agree with me. I am too 18 plus. Yeah, I guess so. Dirty 30s, JK. No, you're not joking. You actually meant that. No, I'm joking. Do not attack Sweet Potato. What do you think of the Blue Yeti streaming and recording? I guess that you're referring to the Blue Yeti X. I don't think that the original Yeti too many people are looking at necessarily. Though it is still for sale, so yeah, I guess that I will talk about the Blue Yeti for a bit. So the Blue Yeti, that one, I actually don't really like that microphone personally because I felt like it was pretty noisy. And one thing that I find like super important regarding microphones and things like that, they just, like, it tends to be also monitoring performance. So like, if what I'm hearing back into my headphones sounds like what I'm speaking into the microphone, and the Blue Yeti makes it seem like it's not catching a lot of noise in the monitoring, and then when you're speaking into it, and then like you play it back, like you just hear all sorts of noise, like my mini fridge back there. You'll hear my PC fans and things like that. So I would say that when it comes to noise rejection, it doesn't do very well. Plosives are also not great on the Blue Yeti either. I would recommend a different microphone overall for recording YouTube videos and streaming. I am attacking Sweet Potato. What are you gonna do about it? Oh, you see, I mean, all I have to do is just go ahead and press that ban button over there. Okay, I just have to go ahead and find it. It's a Streamlabs, don't do it. There you go. There you go. I guess I won this war, huh? The Blue Yeti is just overrated purely. I absolutely agree with that statement too. there are just going to be a lot of really good USB microphones that sound better. For sorry, I always get gassy during streams and stuff, even though I'm like drinking water. But yeah, like I would say that the Blue Yeti is just super overrated. It has a great build to it. I will give it that for sure. But when it comes to the sound quality, there are better options, such as the Samsung G-Track Pro, which is one that I definitely recommend over the Blue Yeti. And they tend to be about the same price. Are we still in Restream? I don't know if we are. No, actually, we aren't. We are back in Streamlabs OBS. And I'm using this to stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. So, yeah. I figured something out over here because I did miss using my overlays and stuff, and I figured that it would just make things easier if I could do this. And also, like, if I ever have to share audio or anything like that, I can do it more easily through Streamlabs. Oh, no, yeah. Don't be surprised. Yeah, so there's like a bit of like, yeah, like the light from behind me is reflecting back onto my mini fridge over there, which is actually kind of a cool effect. And tomorrow is my sister's birthday, so the present is back there. What it is? Wouldn't you like to know? No, it's just a coffee maker. It's nothing really that special. But she apparently needed one, and I was like, well, I have to get her something for her birthday this year. So I went ahead and went for that. That way, coffee maker is a lot more valuable than some people may give it credit. I am so edgy today. Even my dreams were edgy. I dreamt of war and espionage. I see. Like, you're just having the worst day, it seems. So, like, you're just, you don't seem to be in the best of moods. And I mean, that's fine. Like, that does definitely happen. Oh, new follower. Well, thank you so much. Lady Arrows, I very much appreciate that follow. So thank you for that. And that's another thing too. Like if anybody follows, I actually get to see it here, which is pretty cool. So I do have to make a couple of adjustments, such as like adding a sound cue as well and things of the like. Anyways, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Oh, right. I'm sorry. I forgot to ask. Considering that, you know, I'm used to you asking first, but whatever. I'm glad that you're doing fine though. I am because like I tend to reply like once a day, which is again definitely my bad. While I am extremely busy, I am still very bad at like texting. But I remember when I was in high school, I used to be way better at that. Soy Boy V just followed as well. Thank you so much for that follow. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, when I was in high school, I was much better at like keeping up with text messages. I would make that a priority. I would fix any typos. Did you like school? I guess I'll go in order. For like middle school, junior high, high school, my first college, and then my second college. So I guess I'll give my 5 experiences. I went to Catholic school for the vast majority. Well, yeah. I went to Catholic school for the vast majority of middle school. So I mean, I've been there since like kindergarten, but from kindergarten all the way up to the 6th grade, and then I would say that time span pretty great. I had a lot of friends. I was super quiet I was definitely like the second to shortest person there, so I was recognizable by those merits. And then we had to leave that school because it was becoming too expensive to pay for it monthly. So what we ended up doing instead is that I got transferred over to public school. Public school honestly was a lot better because in public school, I made a lot more friends. It was a lot closer. I could actually walk home from there. There was an ice cream shop right across the street, so that, you know, if I wanted some sweet salt, some sea salt ice cream, there you go. I could just go ahead and get that. So the 7th grade, great. The 8th grade, hated it. Awful. Terrible. I went back to Catholic school around that time, but because I was learning how to speak English around that time still, even though my English was pretty decent at the time, I still misunderstood a lot of things that people would tell me. So like I wouldn't know exactly how to take it, and just like a lot of weird things happened in that regard. So I would say that 8th grade, not cool. And then came high school. Freshman year, first couple of weeks, great. After that, totally went downhill. Sophomore year came. I would say that my sophomore year was a lot better. And then junior year came. That was also actually a pretty good year too. And then came senior year. Senior year was actually fairly decent as well. It was just my freshman year that was kind of garbage, but yeah. And then there was also, I guess from there, now we go back into college. I went to community college first for computer animation, and it was fine, honestly. I thought that the professors there were pretty good, and it was pretty affordable, so like financially it was able to cover that, thankfully. And after 2 years, I graduated with my associates, and then I moved over to the next school, which was to go and get my bachelor's. My time in that school, awful, trash, horrible. I'm not going to disclose what school it was. It was here in New York City, though. But this school was absolute. I met a lot of great people in this place, but the animation programs were so underdeveloped, in my opinion. It was just not a very fun time at all, but I finally graduated, and that's that. So I would say that my earlier years in school were better than my latter, but I'm sure most people would probably agree with that. So, and I am sorry for such a long answer. Bloody Fedora says, no, I am not in the best of moods, especially when you dream with a staff robotic snake that magically grows in size from your axe in hand after your opponent curses it and says it's going to kick your ass, and you have to fight it with nothing but your hands and rocks. Jesus, that was a conglomerate of words there. On the bright side, I split the guy in half before he cursed my axe, Lubu style, so that was a stress relief in a way. And that's what I call a good ending to a bad dream. So there's that. Public school for the win. Yeah, actually, like public school, well, I shouldn't give public school that much credit because I was just lucky that my public school wasn't so bad for me. I don't know if both messages went in, so yeah. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Were your grades good? Or you a smarty pants? I would say that I was, yeah, I was a very good student up until I got to the 8th grade. On the 8th grade, I got zeros fairly often, though. Again, my English wasn't very good, and on top of that, we had a math teacher with a super, super thick accent that I was having a lot of issues understanding, and she actually got mad at me one time because I genuinely could not. I did not have an idea of what she was saying. But high school, I was not doing so hot when it came to my grades in high school. High school was honestly the most difficult place, in my opinion, to get good grades, because in that school, if I missed 2 homework assignments, that's it. I'm like on the verge of failing, even if we've been assigned homework almost every single day, which is pretty insane. And mind you, homework isn't even like a big percentage of your grade, and that would happen pretty consistently, even in my English class, for instance. There was, I remember one semester in particular where I was like, no more 65s in this course. I will do much better. And guess what? It didn't matter. I got a 70. And it was because I missed one rather insignificant assignment that all of a sudden it was just boom, all the way down. High school, my grades were pretty garbage, but then came college, my grades were way better in college for sure. And also, I can say the same actually about my last school as well. Like, my grades were just actually a lot better there than what they were in my previous school, because I was on the dean's list. Feel pretty good about that, even though it is a pretty meaningless achievement. I still had to fight the robotic snake staff thingy, so yeah, that happened. You know what? Fair enough. It was very rude too. Not a polite snake at all. I would think so. I don't think that many snakes would be so keen to socialize and be friendly. Do you know what she was saying now? I never had this issue of learning a new language. Oh no, I haven't spoken to her since, so I can't even make out what she was telling me back then. Yeah, but like, it wasn't just me. It was even like native English speakers in that class that were also having issues understanding her. Her English was just extra butchered. No offense to her, but yeah. Torture says, yo, hello buddy, thanks for jumping in. Finally, I would also like to give a shout out to Jonathan Javier's cousin, because he is indeed an MVP. Shout out to his cousin Peter. A tactical center. Don't bother with Razer products or Corsair products, really. I mean, I understand Razer products because I've owned quite a few of them, and I mean, I haven't been happy with all of them, but I thought that Corsair was actually better. At least like when it came to peripherals and that kind of stuff. Your hair is a little bigger. What do you mean? I feel like my hair looks exactly the same. All I hear is how hellish high school is, and here I am graduating middle school this year and registering for an AP Psychology and Honors English, Honors Math 2, Honors History, and Honors Science. So, high school is going to be a different experience for everybody. Though, a lot of people really end up saying that they had a bad time in high school. Like with bullying aside, which luckily, I was never bullied in high school. A lot of people say that they just had a pretty bad time in high school because, I mean, like, that's when you're like at the pinnacle of your puberty, you know, like you're going through the worst stuff. like your interest in girls grows a lot more, for example. You're more keen to trying crazier things because you want to break free from your parents, or you want to feel like you have some agency over your life before you're ready to do so, and that kind of thing. In my case, it was really just, yeah, that like getting good grades in that school for me was very difficult. I would say I was an art major in that school. I would say that that's pretty much the only class where I would get decent grades in. And it's funny too, actually, because I loved history when I was in school, even in high school, and I still got bad grades. And that's because, oh, I missed an assignment. It's absolutely stupid how things ran over there. But don't be afraid of going into high school, because the first time around, I think that it should be a pretty exciting experience. I mean, you're moving on to a very different field here, and you're very likely to meet a lot of people that are willing to help you out through your freshman year, as I did. But Fedora says, like, getting into your eyes kind of big. Oh, you mean long? My hair's long. Because big just means like that it's more voluminous, but long, it's just like length. Like, it's just like that long. No, yeah, I am going to be getting a haircut soon. I've been meaning to for a long time. But I'm very particular about where I get my haircuts. I literally only trust one person with my hair on this green earth. And that is my hairstylist. Though, I like to call him a barber just because it requires less explaining. But yeah, like, there is only one person that I trust with my hair, and he actually went on vacation for quite a while. He came back, but I haven't been able to go myself. So hopefully either this week or next week I should be able to go, but next week at the latest. Because trust me, I am pretty sick of having long hair. It is getting pretty difficult to manage. Like Sophia Vergara English. Nah, probably a lot worse than that, to be honest. Tech for your needs. Ooh. Science for the win. Oh my goodness. Like, we could certainly go on about science. While initially I was always interested in science classes and stuff, they would end up being pretty hellish, actually. Chemistry in particular was an absolute disaster for me. Science is for nerds. I agree. Thank you, foolish Swami. I don't have to sugarcoat it anymore since somebody else said it. So there's a... Now, I do have a question. How do you guys feel about this webcam so far? Like, does the stream look good to you? I want to hear your thoughts on it. I'm using the $200 Razer Kiyo Pro. This is a dedicated webcam. It is just USB powered. It is currently doing 1080p at 60. And I would say that it actually does a pretty decent job again for a webcam. A camera of about this price, like a dedicated camera, would perform a lot better, but you know, like shortages and things like that are making that a lot harder. The highlights are a bit harsh, but that might be fixed in lighting, not the camera. No, yeah, I absolutely agree. The reason for that harshness is because I have my Elgato key light over here at its brightest setting, so that is my fault that it looks overexposed. But I would say that things like my shirt look pretty sharp on here, and like you can still tell pretty clearly what's in the background and stuff, though the lights back there are getting lost from what I'm seeing. Like, those are pretty tough to see. You can just tell that I have lights back there, but it's tough to see the shapes and all. even like when it changes colors, it's easier to tell what color they are by just looking at the reflection through the mini fridge. Bro, I was on PC Part Picker, and like every graphics card is overpriced right now, like double. I'm not surprised at all, man. I'm pissed. I completely understand. It is really frustrating. Um, the 3060 released pretty recently, and it is supposed to cost between 300 and 330. I tend to forget. But like that is supposed to be a very budget graphics card. And well, got sold out, and now on eBay, when it first came out, which was not that long ago, I think like a week ago, it was going up for about triple the price, which is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. It was actually at like it was more expensive than some scalped RTX 3070s even, or like RTX 3060 Ti's. That is just awful. Oh, the 25th of February it was released. Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, last week basically. So yeah, like it has just been really hellish for people to be able to get their hands on these graphics cards. You can't get a high-end graphics card because they're too expensive. They're not being scalped too hard in comparison because they are a tougher sell, but you still have, you know, even just like the budget solutions like the RTX 3060, 3060 Ti, and 3070. Those are so difficult to obtain unless you're willing to spend about double the price. That's not fair. Why can't they make a queue and limit cards like one per person per mailing address? Because then I know mine is in the wings. My co-host actually for the podcast, Christopher, he suggested actually, you know, like making people put in their phone numbers and like having to like confirm that they're making a purchase through that phone number. And I feel like that is at least a stalling tactic that could work. I think that your method would work too. It is something that companies such as EVGA have actually implemented. No, they had to do the I am not a robot. But it doesn't matter. Even if you're not a robot, uh, I mean, I meant to say even if you are a robot, like it is still going to catch you. That is the one place it is needed, but they don't do it, of course. It is again pretty annoying that that is happening, of course, though that is happening also with CPUs. CPUs are also pretty tough to get your hands on at the moment. At least like current generation CPUs, which is why I ended up having to go with a 3950X when I wanted a 5950X, because that chip was being scalped by about double the price, which is just ridiculous. I feel like it's easier to get burner phones, but mailing addresses are harder or more expensive to get. Okay, fair, yeah. Yeah, like if you had to verify your actual mailing address. I wonder how that would work. But something has to be done. However, my argument for you know, things not actually being done and this just continuously happening is that Nvidia couldn't care less. I mean, like, their cards are selling. Right now, actually, they are developing and soon releasing, if I'm not mistaken, a mining specific card. And these are just RTX cards that have been stripped of any display inputs or outputs, I should say. And essentially they just can't game with them. They're only going to be good for things like mining. But like these are just potential RTX cards that they're taking away from people who are looking to buy these, and they simply can't. what does the TI mean? I've always wondered that myself as well. Uh, though I mean, while I don't understand what the acronym stands for really, uh, it's usually just like an enhanced version of said graphics card. Even though they also have like the super line, which is exactly that. Uh, so that's actually a pretty tough question to answer. Thank you for asking. I am going to look into that. Is it just a signifier to say that this is better? As far as I'm aware, yes. That is essentially what it is. And yeah, like TI cards do tend to be about 30% better than their non-TI counterparts and the like. But yeah. In terms of performance, usually a TI is like the best way to go. At this time, the only 3000 series TI card that we have is the 3060 Ti. The 3070 does not have one, but there is a rumored 3080 Ti coming out soon. In fact, like there have been listings on websites for it, it just hasn't been released. So I do wonder how that's going to go. And there are actually rumors of this card supposedly having around 20 gigs of VRAM, which is again pretty insane. But I think that the asking price that they were trying to go for was like $1,000, which is actually fine for something like that. I wouldn't have minded paying $1,000 for a 3080 Ti that has 20 gigs of VRAM. But what's going to happen is just that it's going to get bought out again and it's going to get scalped to hell. The 3080, I would say, is the card that is abused the most here because like people don't really sell their 3080s for any less than half, at least not that I've seen. The base 3080s are at like like 1000 or 1200. Yeah, that's just insane. 1200, that's very much nearing double its pricing. It's just it's not fair for people who are just trying to get a graphics card, whether it's for gaming, for work. It just absolutely sucks. And the same goes for you know, consoles. The PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X and S. Barely anybody can get their hands on those consoles. Those consoles are easier to get your hands on than these graphics cards are, I will say. There are just a lot more opportunities to get your hands on these consoles versus these graphics cards. So like it's not to the same degree, but it is still pretty bad. But graphics cards, seriously, Nvidia has to do something about this. And it's not just them, AMD too. AMD has been slacking when it comes to their stock and when it comes to bot prevention. There are other sites, like other retailers, that have actually taken action to try and put a stop to that. But unfortunately, they're very few between. My phone's battery kind of inflated in a way. I'm using the older battery, still doing well, although it is charging slowly. No, yeah. Batteries usually do degrade over time with use. And if you're using an older one, naturally, it's just not going to perform the same as it once did. But if your battery inflated, then I would say that you did the best thing by taking it out. Yeah, that does not seem safe at all. Foolish Swami says, I think that's because the consoles can only be used for one thing, gaming. Right, yeah. Right, so like, it's not like minors are going to be buying PlayStation 5s and Xboxes and stuff like that. I am now using the old one. Good. But you should still try it and get a new one at some point. Hopefully one that won't just inflate on you randomly. Bruh, don't blow up. I agree. Do be careful. Do be careful. So many things coming up on the docket, in fact, as for reviews and things of the like. And I kind of wanted to share like what's on the schedule for now, because I want to know what you guys think about these items coming up. So one of these is actually going to be the Sony RX 100 Mark 7. This is Sony's best point and shoot right now. There's going to be a review on that coming out soon. The Scarlett Focusrite 2i2, or I should say the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I know that that's one that people have been asking for quite a while, so I'm going to be able to get that done. That review of the Dell XPS 13 is also coming up, and obviously the review of the Electro Voice RE27ND and things of the like. Oh, there's also a review of the Blue Spark. So there are many microphones coming up. Still, the microphone market is just so massive, and it just intrigues me. I need to like indulge myself more with like audio interfaces and stuff like that, and just like learn more about these things, since I've already educated myself so much when it comes to microphones. A friend of mine had an iPhone that exploded in his pocket when they were bending and stuff. Ah, I see. Sounds like something that would only happen to an iPhone, though, you know. And the Note 7, but the Note 7 is a very isolated incident. I'm just joking. I do have an iPhone myself, so I can't exactly complain too much there. This just isn't my main one. So Foolish Swami, if you see my green bubbles, please don't disown me. I'm sorry that they're not blue. They could be blue, but I'm choosing for them to stay green. I felt dirty texting you. And I don't blame you at all. It's pretty disgusting. The autofocus in the Kiyo Pro is not doing well. Yeah, actually, like it is focusing in and out. Like we're just seeing that a lot, and like I've had to like go like this to try and refocus it on myself, but sometimes it loses focus of me, the subject. So when it comes to autofocusing, even when there's plenty of light here, it's still not performing all that well. Hi, how are you today? Oh, well, I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing tonight? Hui Shan says, any mic recommendations for streaming gaming that has good background noise rejection? So automatically I think of a dynamic microphone. And when it comes to dynamic microphones, it really does depend on what kind of sound you're trying to go for. And also, are you looking for an XLR microphone or a USB microphone? That's usually the question that I start with, because it changes everything. That and budget. Twins, says Sweet Potato. Wait, who are the twins? I don't see any twins here. XLR. Okay, great, perfect. So when it comes to XLR microphones, what is your budget here? Like, what is the most that you're willing to spend on just the microphone? So I can't tell if it's Mr. Shibito or Mrs. Hibito. So I do apologize for that, but good thanks. I am looking for a gaming chair for a friend. He is a bit big for the DX Racer Tank gaming chair, so I'm looking for a bigger one. Interesting, huh? A gaming chair. I mean, I actually don't really have that much knowledge when it comes to gaming chairs. I just know that if you want to get a cheap gaming chair, you're gonna have to deal with probably having a pretty stiff back for quite a while. which is not good. You've just linked me to a YouTube video. I wonder what that is. Hui Shan. Roughly 200 bucks. Okay. Then the answer is... if you're willing to spend around that much, let's see if I can actually keep you below 200. Not too many microphones really come to mind that kind of like reach that threshold, but there's some that cost slightly more, such as the Rode Podcaster, which is a very good microphone, though it does offer that podcast sound if that's what you're looking for. It usually retails for about 230 bucks, so it is just a little bit over your budget, or at least like what you stated here, but I think that it is worth it. Mr. Oh, okay, so it's Mr. Shibito. Okay, thank you. We are iPhone twins. Oh, right, sorry. Yes. Sweet Potato and I are iPhone twins, except that I think she has a 12 Pro. I merely only have a 12 because I'm broke. I'm as broke as I look. And she likes to brag about it. Her third camera. Her third camera is just so special. Isn't it? I'm like throwing all of the salt all over the place. Expecting like a super sassy response. Rode Podcaster would be the one I would recommend though. To you, Huishan. Yeah, he needs a good one. The DX Racer tank is a good one. I'm using it from 3 years now. It is perfect, but for his size, I'm not sure what will be good. Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how tall he is. But yeah, that might be a bit of a difficult search there. It is not going to be an easy endeavor, I don't think. And you're definitely going to want one that's pretty soft. At least like something that's fairly comfortable. This chair back here, I think I paid 120 bucks for it. I only like how it looks. I do not like how it feels. Just because it fits my aesthetic. All the salt because it's been building up since apparently I never show up to your streams. No, yeah, I mean, I've got an entire jar here. And I've just been pouring it out in bits, but I'm gonna save some for a different live stream. Don't worry, there will be enough salt for another time. Mr. Shibito, yeah. So, over here, this has been quite the productive hour, I would say, when it comes to just chatting. We haven't been talking too much about this this camera though, but as you guys can see, it is losing focus fairly often. I didn't experience this in my review necessarily, but I'm experiencing this like in actual use now. I'm seeing quite a bit of that. Rode Podcaster or Rode Procaster? You know, I am going to double, quadruple check that because I always mix those up. Rode Podcaster, let me see. No, that would be the Procaster. Yeah, I meant to say the Procaster. My apologies. Though there is a USB version of it, and that's actually the Podcaster. The Procaster is the XLR version. That's the one I would recommend. If I show up to another... Oh, is that a threat? Oh. You can't just hold that against me like that. That's not fair. I'm the one who shows this petty side here, okay? I'm the one that does that. You know what, fair? If that's the game you want to play, then that is the one that we shall engage in. Ah, okay, thank you. Yeah, no worries. I'm very glad that I was able to help you out. I remember having the Procaster. It was a very good microphone. It's pretty good when it comes to like side and rear rejections, sound rejection. It's obviously a lot better from up close, due to the proximity effect from it. And considering that the microphone is more so meant for podcasting, it is going to give you that podcast-esque sound already right out of the box. It's going to be a considerably more detailed sound than the one that you would get from the Rode PodMic, for example. Though the PodMic is also a very good microphone, but that I would recommend to people instead who are on a lower budget. But speaking of gear, this webcam, this is actually the very first live stream that I do, like specifically about a webcam at all. And while this webcam has been gaining quite a bit of traction, actually, I don't think that it's going to go that far in the streaming scene because people would still rather go with an actual setup, even if it means paying more. So at this time, I can still recommend it if you really can't find a better deal, but usually it's like, yeah. Do you think that the Shure MV7 is good though? Yes, I do. I was able to test it out for some time. I think that it is a great microphone. It is basically like a pocket-sized Shure SM7B, but it's not going to sound as detailed. Obviously, it's not the same as an SM7B, but the MV7 does deliver on pretty good sound. If you're looking for more so like a flatter sound signature and something that is easier to EQ and mess around with, then the Shure MV7 would certainly be a great option. However, I think I would kind of prefer the Procaster instead. Like if I were the one choosing, because the Procaster is built better and the Procaster already has that sound that I prefer. I want to ask, what's your opinion, what GPU to get, the 3080, 3090 or the AMD Big Navi ones? So when it comes to Big Navi, I don't really know too much information about those regarding performance. However, I have built PCs that have a 3070, a 3080, and a 3090. I'm currently running a 3090. And I would say that the 3080, since, yeah, let's go ahead and start with that since that's the first one that you mentioned. The 3080 is a fantastic card. It's really good. Really good. And if it were at its $700 price tag, then I would just tell you to get that one. The 3090 is also a very fantastic card. It is very good. However, it is more so meant for people who need to do pretty extensive work on their hardware. Like if you're video editing or maybe doing 3D modeling, working on animations and things like that. I would say that that's really when the 3090 comes more so into place here. Or like when that makes more sense, but I would get the 3080 if you can find it at a reasonable price. I would consider the 3080 to be the most sensible option of all of them. Nice. Well, good. I'm glad that that was helpful. But with that said, thanks a lot. No worries. You're very welcome. thank you very much to all of you for jumping into tonight's stream. And hang on. I'm gonna put myself in there. There you go. And thank you very much for coming on to tonight's stream. Do you remember that we talked about the MV7 a few days ago? Yes, I do remember. The MV7 made quite an impression on a lot of people. And I do remember that we had a conversation about this on chat. Now, of course, let me just go ahead and fix this up. This has been my sort of kind of live review in a way of the Razer Kiyo Pro. This is what it would look like to stream with it in a well-lit environment, maybe too bright in here perhaps, but luckily it is customizable in Synapse, so do keep that into consideration. This camera records at 1080p 60, so it is pretty good for streaming, of course, but normally I would recommend a more robust setup involving a capture card and an actual camera. But if this is one of your best options right now, because those setups are just too expensive, then this is the webcam I would end up going for. I have yet to test out the Brio or any of the other offerings, so I'm more than open to changing my mind. But with that said, thanks a lot for jumping into tonight's live stream, and I hope to see you all on the next one. You've all been a fantastic audience, and yeah, until next time, have a wonderful night and enjoy.